I am Mel Brown. I am the Partnership Development Manager for a charity called SmartSTEMs. And today I have with me Andrew Fournet from CGI. Hello, Andrew.
Hi, Mel. How are you doing? Thanks for having me.
You're so welcome. Now, the purpose of today is just to find out a wee bit about you and what you do and your journey into working for CGI, a wee bit about your job. So just to kick us off, can you just tell the audience just a bit about yourself?
Yeah, sure. So, hi, I'm Andrew. I am half French, half Scottish. I moved to Scotland in 2005, and I work for a company called CGI, where I do business development, specifically for the space sector in Scotland and for the Celtic Arc. So that's Wales, Northern Ireland, and Scotland, obviously.
So how did you get into that industry?
So I got into the space sector by being headhunted. So when I moved to Scotland back in 2005, I started working in a pub, actually, and I became manager of that pub. There was a fire in the pub, so I got made redundant. And then I got a position in the software industry. I worked in oil and gas for a risk-based inspection software company. I did that for about 10 years. And then one day a recruitment agency came to me and said, "Hi, Andrew, your profile is really interesting, and this particular company is interested in you." So I asked, okay, what do they do? And the chap said they work in the space sector. So I said, okay, let's do it. And so yeah, I started working in the space sector then in a company called Astrosat, who do Earth observation, and that's basically taking satellite data to bring intelligence down on Earth, helping stuff like against illegal deforestation, fuel poverty prediction. We did the homelessness risk indicator, etc., etc. So using satellite data for social purposes. And now, after that, I got then again headhunted into CGI for my role right now.
So can you tell us a wee bit about your role and what you do? What's an average day, if there is an average day at CGI? Just tell us a bit about that.
So the day starts with me logging into my computer as you do, and checking emails, etc. But my role is to find business for the company, and that's basically building relationships with space companies in Scotland. So you've got a huge variety of organizations in Scotland that deal with space. You've got rocket companies like Skyrora. You've got satellite manufacturing companies like Spire or AC Clyde Space in Glasgow. You've got launch sites in Shetland that are being built. There's one also in Sutherland that's being built. There's Prestwick Spaceport that's being organized, and they're waiting licenses. So we have a whole range of organizations that we can work with in Scotland. Also, so that I can justify my pay, I also project manage some of our clients, and I work with NATS, which is the air traffic control people. So I do run a project with them at the moment, and yeah, that's basically my day, making sure that everything runs smoothly in the project, and then chatting to people, getting connections, and building relationships.
So we've chatted, a bit off screen about the current skills shortage in the UK that exists. What do you think we can be doing to promote those sorts of jobs to the younger generation? And what kind of jobs are we currently feeling that there's not enough talent coming through with?
So I think to answer your question really quickly is, if you want to work in a space sector, there is room for you to work in a space sector. It doesn't matter what kind of skill you have. So, for example, I often ask people that I meet, what do you think is the best university degree for to work in the space sector? So then people say, oh, astrophysics, astrobiology, PhDs, and this and that next thing. Actually, you don't need to have gone to university to work in the space sector. I've not gone to university, and I'm working in the space sector now. There's a huge amount of different jobs available in the sector that needs to be filled. So I'll give an example, very basic example. In satellite manufacturing companies, they will have clean rooms that need to be really spotless, no dust, no nothing. But to make these rooms clean, you need cleaners. And you can be a cleaner and work in the space sector, and that's really awesome. You'll be an integral part of making the business awesome. You can be a salesperson. We need people to sell our products into people that don't know anything about space. We need people that do marketing. Oh, so obviously we need astrophysicists to make calculations in space and so on. So yeah, so that's, huge amount of different variety of jobs are available in the sector. And then we do need a lot of people because there's a huge growth at the moment in space, in Scotland in particular, but in the UK in general also.
Absolutely. So take us back to Andrew as a young person. What was your experience at school? What were you interested in, and what was your sort of journey into the space industry?
So if you cut back, I don't know, a few years ago, to when I was in high school in France, if you'd asked me or anybody in my classroom, or you told me back then, Andrew, you're going to be working in the space sector, everybody in the classroom, including me, would have laughed at you because I wasn't a good pupil. I barely scored average scores. I could speak good English because I'm half French, half Scottish, so I had good English for me. So I was destined to be a fireman in France. That's what I was
Right.
going to be doing. Yeah. In Paris, the Brigade des Sapeurs-Pompiers de Paris is an army branch. And so I was gearing up to do that. And then I injured myself at playing rugby, a cruciate ligament injury. So that made me inept for service. I couldn't do military service because of that. So, from there, I was like, okay, what am I good at? And I'm good at chatting. so I went into a media and communication kind of after high school kind of degree, which I went through. It's not university; it was a part-time formation, so it was basically 2 or 3 days a week at school and 2 or 3 days a week at work. And I worked at the train company called the SNCF in the media department. And then I went and worked for Total, the oil and gas company, again in their media department. And so I did that. Unfortunately, I did not pass the exam, but I still sat it. But I decided, what? I didn't want to study anymore, and I said, if you don't study, you should travel. And I had this grand plan in mind that I was going to travel the world, starting in Scotland, build up my English, make sure that it's spotless, and then go to Canada, New Zealand, Australia, South Africa, and then back to France to resume life. And then I just stayed here in Scotland. So that's how
Well, you
that
still
happened.
have time.
Yeah.
You still have time. It's not over yet. So for the young people watching just now, do you have any advice for them?
Yeah, if you're interested, that's a general kind of advice. If you're interested in something in particular, go and talk to people about. If you want to be a vet, go to see and speak to veterinarians and see what the job is about, and try to spend some time trying to get a weekend and see what they're doing. Spend some time, talk to people that are actually doing the work, and find out about their experience, how they went into it. So, if I give the example of the space sector, there's conferences on the space sector pretty much every 15 minutes. It's insane. There's so many things going on, and they're in Scotland, but also down south in England and in Wales. And so, go to these conferences. You get discounted prices for your school kid. You can probably get in for free, and then just go and chat to people. And you might even at a conference be an astronaut. I mean, Tim Peake was at the last conference I went to, and I went up to him. I was chatting to him, and he was a bit fed up with talking about space. So we talked about motorbikes, because he loves motorbikes and I love motorbikes. So that worked well. So just find a subject that interests you, that you like to do, and then just go and chat to people about it and get interested. And then you build your relationship with people, and then build your knowledge, and that opens doors for you.
Absolutely. You widen your horizons, you chat. The more people you chat to, the more opportunities that you'll find that will be there for you in your future and will help you make the right decisions. And if not, if you don't make the right decisions and you try something, you can always go and try something else if it's not for you. But thank you so much today for being here, for having a chat, and all the best. And I hope maybe you get to travel and see all those countries you mentioned at some point. So
Yeah, no
thanks.
problem at all. Thanks a lot. Thanks a lot. See you
Bye.
later. Thanks for having me. Bye-bye. Bye.